Hi guys, Tausif here with Walk and Talk Cricket. Today's episode is about the T20 World Cup Final between New Zealand and arch rivals Australia. So the game will be played at Dubai. It's a night game, and the toss will, as we know, the toss will play a vital role. Out of the last 18 night games at Dubai, 17 are won by the team batting second. So that's a big giveaway. Team news, obviously, Conway is injured, so he won't be able to play. I think New Zealand, Kane Williamson has announced already that Tim Seifert will be his replacement. So with Tim, obviously, as a genuine keeper who's probably batted more on the top order than in the middle order. So out of the 33 innings he's played in T20 internationals, 23 were in top 3, and that is where he averages 27, and when he batted 6, 7 or 8 he's averaging 10. His record against Australia aren't great, and his record in subcontinent aren't great, but he was part of the Kolkata Knight Riders in recent IPL, so he's got some experience of the conditions. Daryl Mitchell obviously got to open the batting in the warm-up games because Seifert was still, I think he was unavailable, and Mitchell played well against spin and they kind of stuck with him. So now it's a matter of if New Zealand would put Seifert back up the order and put Mitchell at 4 or 5. It would be interesting because they wouldn't want to change it, but then Tim Seifert's utility in the late middle order we're not too sure about. Okay, so if you look at any other changes New Zealand can possibly make, I would say no, but if you look outside the box, there's a good chance that, not good chance, but there's a slight chance that they try to drift in Mark Chapman possibly. And since Australia struggled against the leggy, the Pakistani leggy Shadab in the semi-final, we've got another leggy sitting outside who is still in the squad, Todd Astle. So there could be a slight possibility that they slot him in and maybe resting Adam Milne. Why do I say that? Because Australia is kind of with their batting order at number 6 and 7. They've got Stoinis and Matthew Wade. Both have actually batted up the order, opened the batting as well. So they're not bad players of quick bowlers. So when it comes to leg spin, I'm not sure about that. So if things go as they are, probably there won't be any other changes. But just thinking outside the box, they might want to bring in another spinner. The reason for that is in the bowling second in Dubai, the fast bowlers' economy rate is around 10. Spinners, although you will see that spinners would go for more runs in the second innings. So in the first innings, the spinners are around 5 economy rate in night games, and in the second innings, it's 7.4. So it's still 2.5 less than fast bowlers in the night games in the second innings of the Dubai games. So it will be interesting what New Zealand does with that. Okay, if you talk about Australia's batting first, so if you look at Australia's batting, obviously pretty solid with Aaron Finch and Warner. Warner obviously got his form back, so it'll be interesting how sort of he goes against New Zealand. Then you've got Mitchell Marsh, who's been put up the order. He's done a good job. And then you've got Steve Smith, who is not in best of his form, but you never know, these players do better in the bigger games. And then you've got Stoinis, and then you've got Matthew Wade. So they've got reasonable depth in their batting. When it comes to Australia's bowling, they're playing with a very certain pattern, which is consistent throughout the tournament. So Stark bowled the first over almost every game, and then Hazelwood has bowled 2 overs in every single game in the power play. So and they tried to sneak in 1 over from Maxwell in the power play. So and then 2 from Cummins. So it's 2 Cummins, 2 Hazelwood, 1 each of Stark. If Stark takes the wicket first over, he probably gets the second one as well in a couple of games. But that has been their pattern. So looking at and Zampa has never bowled in a power play. So that kind of gives it away that do we really need Daryl Mitchell to play against spin first up? Shall we utilize Tim Seifert up the order against fast bowlers, and Mitchell comes when Zampa comes, and he sort of, that's his strength. Even in the last game, he got better as the inning progressed and scored. He was more comfortable towards the back end of the innings. So just saying that that could be an option. In the middle overs, one thing I've noticed is like they try to finish off because Australia is playing with 4 genuine bowlers, so they try to finish their 5th bowler the sooner the better. So in the last game, I think against Pakistan, they finished their 5th bowler. Maxwell bowled 3 and Marsh bowled 1 by the 11th over. So the last 9 overs were specialist bowlers, although specialist bowlers went for 100 runs in the last 9 overs, but it's just a pattern we were talking about. So there is a set pattern between the Australian bowling lineup. So and Dith obviously in the last 2 games, Stark bowled the first and the last over, and the last over Stark went for 2 sixes in each of the last 2 games. So I guess the Dith bowling has been a problem for Australia, although Cummins bowled well, and I think 19th over against Pakistan went for 2 or 3 runs. Okay, so how does that compare to New Zealand bowling? So I guess like Aaron Finch doesn't have a great record against left-arm spinners with a new ball, but on the other hand, Warner has a very good record against left-arm spinner with the new ball in T20. So it will be interesting if Kane Williamson takes a punt and put sort of Satner, let him bowl a couple of overs, maybe 1 over to Finch, and let's see how it goes. Ashish Sodhi probably we won't see him after 6 overs, but it would be good to introduce at least 1 spinner in the top 6. So if you compare New Zealand's bowling, so obviously Trent Boult will probably bowl 2 overs, Satner should bowl 1, Neesham has been bowling 1 in top 6, and Tim Southee 1 or 2 depending upon how he goes. Again, what we've noticed is a set pattern in this World Cup that balls stop swinging after three overs. So your best bet is that obviously Boult bowls, Boult or Southee, whoever bowls first, and if it is swinging, they get a second go, because it will be key to get a couple of wickets early against Australia, and then you've got enough bowling depth to sort of because if Warners get going, Warner or Finch get going, like as we see in the last game, one of them get going, it makes it hard, because they usually go for 8 or 9 or 10 and over, like they did against Pakistan, and it's hard to catch up afterwards. So so what sort of if we compare both teams, I think New Zealand has a slight advantage of their bowling, because they're playing with 5 specialist bowlers, and then you've got Jimmy Neesham on top of it, and Daryl Mitchell actually not a bad death bowler. I don't mind actually they test him out at the death, because so far what we've noticed is at the death, the quicker bowlers are going for more runs. So he operates around late 120s, but someone who's quite accurate. So it'll be interesting if he gets a go. So we've got 5 regular bowlers, 2 spinners, 3 fast bowlers, and then got Jimmy Neesham, and then you've got Mitchell. So you've got 7 bowling options. So I guess the last game they didn't bowl Satner much, so it'll be interesting what happens with him. They sort of try him out in top 6 first, and then see how it goes. As I said, personally, there's an outstanding chance of getting Todd Astle in, because obviously Australia struggled against spin, but in Dubai, either way, spin in the first innings is going for less than 6 and over, and even if you're in the night games, if you're bowling second, spinners are still going for 2.5 less runs than the fast bowlers. So do you need Adam Milne in the second innings? Because it's not holding up. So his change of pace, would it be that effective? And as I said, Stoinis and Wade are batting at 6 and 7. So they both are top order batsmen, so they probably would play fast bowlers better than spin bowlers. So obviously we've covered everything I can think of. winning the toss is probably, you know, the key. And which team can win the game even if they lose the toss. So I think if you win the toss, pretty much 80% of the times you will win the game, probably more than that. So whoever wins the toss has a very good chance. However, which team has a chance winning the game after losing the toss? So I think New Zealand might have a slight advantage there. The reason for that is that New Zealand's got 5 specialist bowlers and Australia got 4 specialist bowlers. So that was my sort of a little preview of the game. Obviously supporting New Zealand, so I hope that New Zealand wins the toss. But in the end, obviously, it's a final. As we saw, out of last 18 games in Dubai, the night games in Dubai, only 1 game was won by the team batting first, but that was the IPL final. So you never know. So yeah, I'll just finish on that note. Good luck to the Black Caps and good luck to Australia, and let's see how this game goes. Thank you for watching, and one more thing, thanks for subscribing my channel, because I've actually got 2,000 subscribers and I only started this for just keep myself healthy and during the lockdown. So lockdown is almost over, but I will see if I can start keep making these videos. Thank you so much, and yeah, enjoy the game. Bye bye.